Hey y'all, welcome back to the Late Night Vision Show. This is episode number 2, and we are glad to be back. I am one of your co-hosts, Jason, owner of Outdoor Legacy Gear. I've got my co-host and good buddy, Hans, from the HansETX YouTube channel.
Hey Jason, good to be back, and I tell you, really overwhelmed with all the people that listened to the first episode. That was great, wasn't it, man?
Absolutely, man. We can't believe, how many people actually responded, sent text, called, listened, sent emails, and we just can't be thankful enough. And I'm glad to hear everybody enjoyed it.
And the big thing, the response the biggest response that I got back from the first podcast were people that were sending me messages saying, "Hey, I enjoyed hearing how you and Jason got into hog hunting, why you do it." And just hearing similar stories from other people out there that really got into it for the same reasons. Some people get into it for sport. Some people get into it, because of the land that they live on that's getting torn up. But it was great to hear the feedback, and we appreciate everybody joining us on the first episode and coming back again to listen to the second episode.
I agree. And, there was one of the things that I think we got asked probably within about 15 minutes of launch. I saw one of the questions. I don't know if it was on one of our YouTube videos or on Instagram or somewhere, but somebody said, "Are you going to have guests?" And so with that said, why don't you go ahead and give them the good news, Hans?
Absolutely. So for our second episode, we've got a special guest with us this week. We've got James from the GunsNChickenStrips YouTube channel sitting right here beside me, Jason. James, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, I tell you, right now, this weekend, we are on a hog hunt out here in East Texas. He was kind enough to come in town to do a hunt with us. We've already been out one night. We went out last night and got 5 hogs, and we just got done. We just really basically washed the mud off of us, Jason, from baiting all the holes. And after we get off the call and off the podcast, we're going to go out there and see if we can get some more hogs.
Man, hey, James, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for being with us here on the Late Night Vision Show.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
There's only one thing that I really don't like about this, and that I'm sitting here and y'all have been out hunting and goofing off, and I don't get to be there this weekend. So,
Well, I tell you, we've been having a lot of fun. James this guy is, the first time that him and I hunted together, how long has it been?
A month.
About a month ago. And he came down, and this guy, he's a sandbagger, because he'll say, "Man, I'm not a great shot, but I love hog hunting." And I tell you what, this guy dropped 2 hogs over 200 yards away, and he kind of made me look a little bit silly, because I dropped a hog, and I don't know what happened. It swam to safety or something, but we went to go find it. It wasn't there, and he's just laying hogs down right and left. So this guy is out doing this, man, almost every weekend. And really want to find out from you, James. The YouTube channel has been a great success for you. You've been doing it now. We've talked a little bit about it. You've been doing that now for a while. And you really, the YouTube channel has, there's things that you do and you go back and forth. I know you do some magnet fishing videos, which are fun. We actually taped one of those today. But what we're seeing now is a lot more of the hog hunting stuff. So really want to hear from you. What got you into the hogs hunting stuff? Who are you hunting with, and all the things and places that you've gotten to go. So really, how did you get into it?
Well, I got into it because I used to hang out with my buddy Lunkers TV, another YouTuber, and he started hunting with Todd Huey from Lone Star Boars, and he actually invited me out to go with him one night, and I had never even seen through a thermal scope or been out hunting at night at all with lights or anything. And they threw an LWRC Razorback 6.8 in my hands with a pulsar scope on it. And we went out, and I just got addicted to it from the very first night. It was wild. It was just, I just got such an adrenaline rush from it. Now I've got my own rifles, they're Pulsar XP50 Trail, and I'm just addicted to it.
Well, going out with Todd Huey and an LWRC and a Pulsar thermal, they didn't just dip your toe in it. They pushed you off in the deep end.
Right, exactly.
Well, yeah, he went out with some of the best stuff right away. So James is using the Postal Trail XP50. I'm using the same thing this weekend when we're going out for hunting. And I tell you, man, when you have such nice equipment, it makes it a little bit easier, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, and Hans is definitely giving me too much credit with the 200-yard shots. He failed to mention that each time it took about 5 or 6 shots.
Oh.
But I hit him. I did hit him on the first shot, and they did not run.
Yeah.
Well,
but
I'll say this weekend. I know this is a night vision show, but I'm still quite impressed with your iron sights, Mosin Nagant daytime shots. They're dropping 2 for 2. So, you're a pretty good shot. I was very impressed by that. To be honest, when I saw that video and you leaned up against the gate, I'm like, there's a 0% chance here. 0% chance.
I put that one up to the Hornady ammo. Those SST. I found some actual Hornady SST ammo military surplus. Like, I can't even remember what it is. It's like Grayford and Sons teamed up with Hornady or something and made it. Wow. And I found that one box of it online and was able to get it. And that ammo is just bad to the bone.
Man, that can't be cheap ammo.
No, it's like $2 or $3 a shot.
And I tell you, James brought that Mosin Nagant down to East Texas, and he said, "Hey, I brought this rifle. Man, if we can get on some daytime hogs, that'd be great." And I'd been seeing some on camera for a while, and but you never know. When somebody's here, the hogs never act the way they're supposed to be or the way that they're trained to be to show up at a specific time. But we sat down. I just got done baiting some holes, and got a text that we had some hogs on camera. And really, it worked out well. But, for James to be able to throw that bolt action rifle up there and to drop, really the most impressive thing was dropping 2 of them. Anybody that shoots a bolt action rifle knows when you're cycling around out, and as fast as hogs are, they're running off. But he dropped 2 of them. So, like I said, this guy's a sandbagger. I think you've dropped every hog that we've come across here that you've shot at.
That's just because you've caught me at the tail end of like a 6-month hunting every weekend binge. So I know my rifle pretty well by now. Yeah. But if you watch my videos, you see I miss a lot.
Well, I tell you, when we're out there on the trails like last night, we could pretty much have our own comedy hunting show when we're out there on the trails, because I don't know if I'm half deaf, even with the hearing protection I have that's got speakers in it, I still can't hear. And we're just bumping into each other, trying to set up shots, and he's grabbing me, pulling me back because I'm about to walk in front of him. But we were able to walk up on a couple hogs last night, really on a trail. They were probably, 20, 30 yards in front of us.
Not very far at all.
We snuck up on them, and they didn't see it coming. And one of the things James said is maybe we could get lucky and knock out a whole sounder. Well, we actually accomplished that last night. There was a group of 4, and we ended up wiping out the whole group. That was a pretty cool deal. Yeah. That was a fun deal.
It was a sounder. It was only a 4-pig sounder.
4 pig sounders.
Oh, now look! You don't have to tell everything you know.
There were 4 pigs in a group, and we took every one of them.
Yeah, we shot. I don't know. We shot maybe 20 rounds. We shot a lot. We just wanted to make sure. Hey, that's what we do, though. It's like we want to make sure that we really get them. So we got to take 4, 5, 6 follow-up shots. Isn't that what everybody does, Jason? 4, 5, 6 follow-up shots.
Hey, let me tell you something. Speaking of follow-up shots, I'll tell a quick story here. And so I don't know what it was. One night this week or last week that just happened, I looked down there, spotted a big boar by himself in the pasture below my house. And so he's about, 350, 400 yards. So I gear up, get everything, take off down there, and I get on this hog. I actually had some wind blowing, and he had kind of winded me, and so he's a little nervous. Went back to eating or rooting, and so I got on this thing, and I backed up a little bit. I was probably about 60 yards, maybe 50, and didn't get any closer, but took the shot, just rolled him up. It was one of those timber, I'm falling, he hits the ground, kicking, like this is great, doesn't go anywhere, and man, I sit there and watch him for, a pretty good while, and it's done deal. That's it, just what you want to see. One shot, and he kicks a little bit, but man, he isn't getting up. So I turned I was shooting my XP50, and I turn the recording off, take everything, get the tripod, start walking down there, and I get up about 30 yards from this hog, and I look again with my thermal monocular, and he's just laying there, not moving, dead. Okay, I flipped the flashlight on this hog, and he stood up and ran like I never shot him and went under my fence and into the woods. And I was like, you've got to be kidding. And I never found him. And I went down there. I went, drug around in the woods with my thermal, couldn't find him. And I even went back today thinking, you know, there's got to be buzzards. I never found that hog. Now I know I killed him. So you talk about all those follow-up shots. I should have put some more lead in that hog because he blew my mind. He just stood up and ran like I never hit him. So yeah, you better put some extra lead down range.
Well, we're definitely not afraid to shoot the rifle. We may shoot it 3 or 4 more times than we should.
Yeah.
But
well, hey James, I got a couple more questions for you. So look, it's the channel is Guns and Chicken Strips, and so you, if I'm not mistaken, are a gun guy. Is that? I mean, you've been into guns a long time. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, I had like 30-something guns before I was like 17.
Wow. Wow.
I don't even have 30-something guns right now.
I don't either. I used to be a hoarder, but then I just started. I had to buy a gun safe because I ran out of places to hide guns. So, and that was when I was 18. But now I have the essentials pretty much and like one cool rifle.
Sure. Well, what is the cool rifle?
I have a Henry big boy lever action 357 octagon barrel carbine.
Wow.
That Henry actually just sent it to me to make a video with, and that's what I was trying to get on a daytime pig with it today, but the cards just weren't right, and we hadn't been able to get any on camera at the feed piles.
Yeah, well, that Henry rifle, we got a chance to take it out today and do some target shooting with it. What was the target that we were shooting on today? What was it called?
It's called the Texas Star. It's by X Steel Targets. I think other companies make it, but this is the best one that I've been able to find. And we got that out, and I just actually got it in the mail last week, and we set that up and used the Henry on that. So it was pretty cool.
That Henry rifle on that, the Texas Star target, man, that it was so much fun. And basically, you're shooting the target, and it's spinning around, and you're just trying to keep up with it. But we did some short videos on that today. And but yeah, that Henry rifle's sweet. I love that thing. I'm so jealous of that because that octagon barrel on that thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, what is your go-to rifle and caliber for your nighttime hunting for all your thermal stuff?
I use a SIG 716 308. It's a AR-10 and it's FDE, and I use a Pulsar XP50 Trail. And I got suppressors on the way, but of course I'm just waiting on tax stamps.
Well, that's the way that goes. I know. Mine took 13 months. So yeah, I know.
I'm going on 7 months now.
Well, they say it's getting shorter, but everybody always says it's getting shorter. So I don't know.
Yeah, I know some guys that it came back at like 4 months, 3 months.
Wow.
But then I know some guys that it came back like you, like 13, 14 months.
Yeah. Who knows? I don't understand that whole deal, but it'll definitely be worth it once you get them in. You'll forget about the wait. And do you have more than one coming?
I have 3.
3. You are the smartest guy I know. I mean, I did the whole wait for one, and Hans will tell you this. I'm always calling him like, okay, I really do not need another can, but I want one. I don't know why. And everybody's told me that once you get one, you want more, and there's no question. I want more, and don't really know why, but
yeah, it's just like guns. If you're not into guns, you get one. Everybody that gets one always wants another one.
That's right, absolutely. Do you remember what the 3 cans you got were?
Yeah, I got a Q Thunder Chicken.
Oh yeah,
and that's for my 30 cal for my 308, and then I got a Gym Tech for my 45.
Yep.
And then I got a Q El Camino for my 22.
Man, you're going to be set up then.
Yeah, I dropped about $4,000.
Well, hey, you know what? It'll all be worth it when they get here. You'll be having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Well, so what else now? Have y'all killed any hogs this weekend besides that sounder, or was that the only ones?
We got lucky on one before that. Basically, gosh, James, you had been here. You pulled up. I said, let's go. Mm-hmm. And there was a group of hogs, and they kind of spooked, but one of them doubled back, and me and James So we're really good at shooting them at the same time. We've got that 3, 2, 1 down pretty well. But we dropped that one. So we've got 5 so far for the weekend. But, you know, here's the thing with James and I think why we hunt so well together is we're not professionals by any means. We you know, we love to do this. We have fun. I think every hunt we go out, we get a little bit better. And I think that's to say with anybody else. But really the reason why we like to hunt together is because we pretty much have a shoot a hog, take a nap policy. So, you know, we're real big into relaxing and just kind of, you know, hanging out. And we kind of sit back. We'll wake up and say, hey, you want to go look? And we'll go look. And we've gotten lucky almost every time. We shoot a hog, come back, take a nap, go shoot another hog, take a nap. So we got a pretty good system going on.
I like that system.
Well, I'll tell you, and James, you know, you do a lot of videos with Bradley from 4B Bow Hunting, which those videos are great. Love watching you and him. I think y'all have great chemistry on camera, and you've done some. I've seen, you know, even a video of them two just doing target practice. I mean, there was one video where James was doing some target practice with a pistol, and a round actually ricocheted and come back and hit him in the side, and he, you know, had slow motion video of it. But you know, with 4B bow huntings and some of the other hunts that you've done with you know, the Southern Night Stalker, that pig rig was insane, man.
Yeah, that was awesome. I think it's 2012. I'm not sure. Cadillac Escalade with a top drive mounted on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that thing is very unique. It's like it came off a showroom floor, but it's just some dude that made it in his little mechanic shop.
Wow. Does it feel top heavy at all when you're up there?
Oh no, not at all. And it's like, and we went up a bunch of hills and down a bunch of hills and like rocked and like went down, you know, like ditches and stuff, and it never felt like it was going to tip or rock or anything. Something about that's the reason why those dudes picked that, is because the guy that picked it is a mechanic. And before that, he said they had a Suburban, but the Suburban just didn't have the power in it to drive all that metal. But and then so that's why he went with the Cadillac, the Escalade, because it's got a bigger motor and the air ride suspension. And something about the air ride suspension levels it out and it helps it a lot. And like even when you're just driving down like a country road at 60 miles an hour, it's just smooth as can be. You just don't feel like you're pulling anything. It's just they specifically chose that for that reason.
Well, and I'll tell you, and that rig is awesome. The pig rig, they call it, and we'll give them a shout out to Southern Night Stalkers, man. They put a mean machine together to be able to to go out and shoot hogs and coyotes. And I know it's got collars mounted to the side of it and everything. Now, with all these hunts you're doing, you know, you're going down working with them. You know, I know you go to Fairfield with doing some stuff in Fairfield with 4B, and you go out, you know, a little bit in West Texas. What's your favorite type of terrain to hunt in? Going, you know, what do you like?
I love mesquite trees, cedar trees, and like open like prairies, like hilly prairies. I just like being able to get well, I don't know, everything has their advantages. Like the advantages to this is you can get right up on them within like 30 yards, 20 yards. And like me and Hans, like he was saying last night, we were fumbling around. Like when we saw the pigs, we were already 30 yards from them. We were fumbling around talking. He walked in front of me without knowing. I had to feel where he was at, move him to the side. Yeah. And we were just right there. And that's the advantage of like East Texas with lots of the wooded areas, and just get right up on them without them knowing. But like the South Texas, just open prairies, fields, you can get up to them, but you can see them from so far away, so that you can just scan from like the dirt roads and not have to just walk around like you do in the woods.
Sure. So I mean, you know, Hans just mentioned some of those places. So you've been east. I'm guessing north.
I've been everywhere in Texas.
You've been everywhere. All right.
Del Rio, Canada, Texas.
Wow.
Abilene, Amarillo.
Golly.
I've been everywhere.
I've been everywhere, man. I think that's a song.
All over Texas.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah,
so with you know, you traveling around and getting your different content for your videos, I know that you know, with you coming out here, it gives you a chance to do a little hog hunting, you know. But really, with some of the other types of videos that you're doing with the magnet fishing, you know, What are you looking forward to these days with the YouTube channel and the content you're putting out? What gets you excited about some of the stuff coming out?
What gets me excited about the videos or what?
Yeah, like some projects that you have coming up, things that you're looking forward to, some of the hunts.
Guns. I look forward to getting more guns and just experiences, just different stuff. Like I went hog dogging that's, if you don't know, that's hunting hogs with dogs last weekend. And I'm not a particular big fan of that, but I did it just to be able to, experience it. Just everything that has to do with hunting, I love, no matter what it is.
When you say you're not a big fan, do you mean it's not your thing, or do you have something against it? I'm just curious.
No, I have nothing against it at all.
You just mean it's not your cup of tea.
Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea. I like using guns. Like I said,
Right.
I'm a big fan of shooting. So I would, if I'm hunting hogs, I would much rather be shooting. But hog dogging, it's just a whole nother experience. I had a lot of fun doing it. But I just like anything that has to do with guns.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw a picture on Instagram with you and maybe like a 250-pound hog that you got with a knife. Is that right? Am I something like that?
It was like that, but it was about maybe a 50-pound hog.
No. I think it was.
He's trying to build you up a little bit.
Yeah, I think you just made it look small. I can tell it.
Maybe.
Hey, listen, you've been on Instagram. You know what? That's at least 250 by some of these guys.
So, by some people's standards.
Yeah. So you actually got in there. I mean, I didn't know what the story was, but I saw you said you got it with a knife, and I assumed you were hunting with dogs. So tell me what happened there.
I went out with this group of guys that I met on Facebook called the Thermal Dog Outfitters. They invited me out to hunt with them, and I went with them once before, and we went rifle hunting. But the dude, I told him I had never been hog dogging before, and one of the guys named Cody was real into hog dogging. And so from that point on, he was all about trying to get me out to go get on some hogs with dogs. And so then the very next time I went, I showed up and he's like, "We're going hog dogging." I was like, "All right." And we went out with a group of dogs, and it's just cool to watch them dogs work. It's like some people think like you're forcing them to do it or whatever, but they're not. Those dogs are just raring to go and try to go find a hog. They absolutely love it. You can just see it in their faces. They are all about doing it. I don't know if it's their primal instinct. And the craziest thing is like I don't know anything about it besides what they told me, and they don't even really need to train them. They just let them out with other dogs that have done it before, and they all just take to it.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard dogs learning from each other, going out there and like any other type of hunting dog, they get around. Bird hunting dogs are the same way. They get out there and run with the ones that have done it, and they, learn and pick it up pretty quick. So,
wow. So now what happened though? You got in there, and then obviously they got the hog caught. But what, did you go in there and grab him by the hind leg, or what? How'd you do it?
Well, my buddy Cody was the one holding the catch dog. And whenever he gets up on, we heard the bay dogs in the distance barking. So he took off running with the catch dog and let him go. And whenever I heard him yelling, "James, come here!" And I took off running over there, and he was holding it by the back legs, and he just tapped it on the shoulder and was, "Stab it right here." I said, "Okay." And I actually have that video from that on a GoPro on my head, for my head mount on my Instagram of me stabbing it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a great video. That one that just came out that he put with the hog dogs. And like you said, just seeing those dogs work together and man, really the bay dogs and the catch dogs, man, they're just super impressive to me to be able to do that. But there's a lot of people that do it and do it well. I've been invited to go out and do it, and I'd like to go out and just experience it. It's something I've never done. But there's a lot of people that do it, and I would just love to go out there just to watch the dogs work. I think that'd be one of the coolest things to be able to do that.
I can tell you, I mean, I grew up with guys that's all they did all through high school. It's all they still do now, 20-something years later. But I tell you, it is not for me because, number one, there's two main fears that I have. One is snakes, and two is getting lost. And so I don't like either. I just admit it. I don't like the idea of getting lost, but I don't like the idea of traipsing around through those woods, especially, I mean, the winter would be one thing, but this time of year, especially if you're doing it at night and running into all those snakes, oh man,
I tell you, you would have a problem coming to hunt with me, Jason, because we're on our own land here, and I got lost tonight. I couldn't find the trail.
well, see, I'm glad to know this since you and I have a hunt scheduled in about 2 weeks on your place. So, yeah,
James is there. We're baiting holes, and it's about dusk. It's getting dark, and I'm riding around the floor I'm like, I can't find the trail. And this is a trail I've driven down, I can't tell you how many times. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, am I going crazy? I can't find this dang trail. And finally we found it. But I'll tell you what, my big thing is I hate getting spider webs in my face. And we went back before this podcast, and I had to wash about 300 of them off my face with those spider webs. And I'll tell you, it feels like my skin's crawling right now. I feel like I got spiders all over me.
Yeah, that's no good. So what's the plan for tonight for y'all? What y'all going to do?
We're going to keep at it, right?
Yep.
We're gonna check some of our bait holes. We're going to just do some random walk downs on some trails. But really, I think what I'd like to do is call in a coyote.
Yeah, that's what I really, it's been a while for me since I've shot a coyote, and that's what I'm going to be hoping that happens. But other than that, there's 2 camo recliners here in Hans's camp house.
Oh, man.
We are going to sit in those and then go walk and then come back and sit in them some more.
Yep, it's all about relaxing and doing a little hog hunting and coming back, relax some more.
Man alive, I tell you what, that doesn't actually sound bad. A recliner, a coyote, a hog.
Well, when you come down, Jason, for your hunt, we'll get you set up just right.
Good.
We'll get this recliner all broke in for you. But
as long as I've got the recliner, then I'll be good. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I tell you, James, it's been great having you out here. Enjoy coming when you come to East Texas to come hunt with me. Everybody go check out James's stuff. It's GunsNChickenStrips on YouTube. Man, he's got a great YouTube channel. The videos, all the hunting stuff that he does. You're really gonna like it. On Instagram, it's the same thing. GunsNChickenStrips. Anywhere else that people can find you?
Nope, that's it. Just mainly Instagram and YouTube.
And now, James, how many subscribers are you up to on YouTube now?
Just under. So last time I looked, it was just under 105,000.
Oh,
I forgot to congratulate you. He just rolled over not that long ago over $100,000. $100,000.
I wish it was.
Congratulations! We just gave you $100,000.
Yeah.
100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and let me tell you, that's a benchmark. That's for anybody that creates content on YouTube. Really getting those first 100 subscribers is a great feeling. Mm-hmm. The first thousand's a great feeling, but I'm telling you, 100,000, that takes a lot of commitment and work. And we were talking about that on the way over here, how much time and effort it is. James is traveling almost every weekend to do hunts and do different videos. And, there for a while, you said you were putting out videos on a daily basis, working and doing this and on the side in the beginning, pushing those
trying to get a library of videos out so that people have stuff to watch when I'm not making videos, so they're not harassing me to do another.
When you were doing that, were you releasing all those videos one after another, or were you saving that content up?
Oh, I was doing it one after another. I don't ever, honestly, I rarely ever, I've saved a video for like a week before, but that was just because I like releasing videos on Sundays because that's when the views roll in. Right. If you don't, other than that, there's other days where it's faster where the views come in, but Sundays it's just like nobody's doing anything but watching YouTube. I don't understand it, but I never save them except for I think twice I have before. But other than that, if I film it that day, I usually release it that day.
Well, that's impressive because Hans knows I can have a 90-second video and I have 2.5 hours of editing. So you're amazing.
I've got a video of me shooting some baby pigs that I've been sitting on for about a month now, and the only reason it's holding me back from releasing it is because I think my wife is gonna have a fit when she sees me out there shooting baby pigs. So I've been sitting on that one for a while now.
Yeah, not just your wife. All the PETA supporters of YouTube are going to be hating you too. So.
I'm more scared of my wife, but
they can hate me all day as long as they watch my videos.
Spoken like a true YouTuber with 100,000 subscribers.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you again, James, I appreciate you being on the show. And like I said, go check him out on the social media, on YouTube, on Instagram. This guy's out there. He's putting out some great hunting content.
Yep. Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me. It's been a very interesting experience. And hunting out here with Hans is one of my favorite places to hunt. It's just so laid back. There's no real rush to do anything. You go out and hunt when you want to because you love it, not because you have to.
That's exactly right.
Absolutely. Cool deal. Well, look, y'all, I think we're going to wrap this thing up. James, thanks so much for taking the time to be with us. We just really appreciate it. And I hope y'all go out and bust a bunch of hogs and maybe a coyote tonight.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Hey, y'all, thanks for listening to this second episode of the Late Night Vision Show. You can find us on Instagram. We've got an Instagram page at the Late Night Vision Show. We're also on Facebook, so you can find us there as well. Go like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You can find me at OutdoorLegacyGear.com. Any questions or anything you need looking for thermal night vision, you can check us out there, or give me a call, 877-350-1818. And Hans, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, it's easy. It's HansETX on YouTube, HansETX, and the same thing on Instagram, HansETX.
That sounds great. Well, all right, guys, I'm gonna jump off this thing and let y'all go back and
get after
those camo easy chairs over there.
Oh yeah, man, we should have told them that. That's
exactly
our hunting secrets there.
All right, y'all have a good evening.
Take care. Thank y'all for joining us.